Literacy in the 21st Century.
Taylor Barkley.
John Mitchell.
Amber Bailey.
Mary Frances McGill.
And Bailey Knapp.
What does it mean to be literate in the 21st century? To be literate in the 21st century means to be able to communicate and receive oral, digital, written, and non-traditional text, and to understand and interpret what you believe its meaning or what it is trying to communicate is. To understand what it means to be literate in the 21st century, your view of what a text is has to change. Traditionally, we think about text as a printed book, but a text can be so much more. It can be a video, a tweet, a status, or a picture. Texts try to communicate a message to its audience, and the aforementioned do that. Text can be digital, a physical object, or a poster on a wall. In Comprehension Strategy Instruction for Multimodal Text in Science, Donna Alverson and Amy Wilson talk about how a text can be multimodal. For example, a middle school teacher brought her students to rocks on campus to teach them about erosion. Traditionally, we wouldn't think of rocks as a text, but in this instance, she used it as one.
Former literacy standards. There has been a shift in focus from reading and writing skills to the growing complexity of text that students must read. Standards now outline a progressive development of reading comprehension. There is a greater emphasis on using evidence from texts rather than recalling facts. Based on these changes found within Common Core standards, the way that literacy is viewed today is very different than how it has been viewed in the past. Previously, to be literate meant that you were able to read and write. Now, to be literate, it means that you are able to comprehend not only traditional text, but you are able to interact in a responsible way with a variety of text. It's more important now than ever before for students to be actively seeking all kinds of literacy, not just traditional literacy, but digital literacy as well.
How students use technology and whether this supports their literacy development. How do students use technology in today's classrooms? Well, there are three major ways that technology is used in classrooms today. Phones are used by students to quickly look up the answer to a question that the teacher has asked. Laptops are used for completing and turning in assignments, and also used for viewing and or taking notes. In some classes, teachers use tools like Padlet, which is an app that allows the teacher to pose a question to the class, and the students will then type out their own answers to the question, and they will send it in. And that way, it gives every student a way to have their voice heard in class, which is good because there might be a few students in class that don't like to speak up, and that gets their voice out there to their classmates. The use of technology in the classrooms supports students' literacy development because it allows students who may learn differently than other students to be able to effectively extract meaning from whatever text they are being presented with. Examples would be a video that students who may not be effective note takers are able to digitally annotate in order to more effectively learn from that text. So essentially there's videos out there that are students are able to annotate so that they can focus on the video, but at the same time have a decent set of notes.
What the role of technology in the classroom should be and the importance of technology. In my opinion, technology should not be the main focus of the classroom because it becomes an easy distraction for students. However, technology is a tool right at our fingertips that will take students' learning to a whole new level. It allows students to take education into their own hands, and they are able to learn in their own way and at their own pace. This also helps students become self-motivated with what they are learning. Technology is a great way to make the material more interesting and interactive with students in the class.
As previously stated, technology is a tool readily available at our fingertips. And according to the Office of Educational Technology, technology has the potential to revolutionize the way we teach and significantly improve outcomes. Technology is no substitute for personal interaction and should be used carefully and purposefully. However, with that being said, it can improve education, but without proper guidelines in place, the use of technology in schools can actually hinder education. Technology has the potential to revolutionize the way we teach and significantly improve outcomes. Developmentally appropriate use of technology can really help children grow, learn, and succeed, especially when families and early educators play an active role. With technology in the classroom, students have access to anything they want to learn, again, right at their fingertips. Technology should be used to increase access to learning opportunities for all children. When appropriately used by early learners with guidance and modeling by adults, technology can complement or extend learning in ways not easily achieved otherwise. For example, technology can introduce children more directly to cultures and places outside of their community. Although children may have access to print resources from public libraries, technology can increase the amount of reference information immediately available to them on any given topic, and this also gives them the ability to ask questions of people outside of their own classroom.
Google Classroom has become an increasingly popular tool used in public school classrooms. With Google Classroom, students are able to keep up with assignments, due dates, and keep up with their peers. This allows teachers to give any pertinent information readily available to students. This gives schools a non-traditional outlet for students to find their own success in education. Along with Google Classroom, a large amount of schools are taking advantage of Google Suites, which includes docs, slides, and sheets. These apps help keep students in touch with their classmates and help simplify group projects, like this one.
Affinity spaces. Affinity spaces are digital or physical places where students can take part in informal instruction. Twitter can be used in the classroom as a means of communication between students and teachers. Twitter can be a great tool for teachers to remind students of assignments or give extra credit opportunities, where they can take what they learned in class and display the knowledge of an affinity space that is familiar to them. Instagram can be a tool for sharing digital media that coincides with the lesson in the traditional classroom. In order for schools to be successful in a digital age, they must evolve to keep up with their students' abilities with the world online. There is no one right way to regulate or implement technology in the classroom as long as it works for you and your students. Most importantly, schools and teachers need to stay up to date and change with the technology available to them. With digital text, students have a different experience than linear text, and every student is different, whereas with linear text, many have the same experience. The main point is that digital text is multimodal and adds layers to the original way of linear text and learning.
With our fast-changing society based heavily on technology, children are growing up with technology in their hands, unlike previous generations. So, educators should be not only willing, but able to use current technologies to enhance the educational experience in American schools in the 21st century.
Here's our We're Excited. Go Tigers!